Here's to another episode of Uninterrupted The Shop, full of memorable and very unpredictable moments.
Cheers to that.
I don't know how many in the room have followed the Brittney Griner situation. Has everybody followed that?
No.
So there's a woman named Brittney Griner who's an amazing basketball player, amazing person. She was in Russia playing. The war broke out. On her way back, flying home, they said she had some amount of hash, which was illegal in Russia, and she is in Russia. We don't really know where. She's been there
Over 100, it had got to be over 110 days.
or something like that. The last text her wife got from her was, "They're taking my phone.
This is happening, they're taking my phone."
They're taking me, and they're now taking my phone. She hasn't heard from her since. It's pretty fucked up what's going on.
The WNBA season has started, and she still
has not come back.
still hasn't come back.
She's a superstar. I mean, we're talking about this is the top of the top. This is LeBron of the WNBA.
You, being you, LeBron James, have you thought of like if it was you travel to Europe, you do these things, like, have you put yourself there in terms of like, man, what she must be going through, or what that experience must be like?
I was trying to imagine it, and it's hard for me to even put myself into what she's going through. Like, she's such a great human being, a great person. Obviously, I've been in her presence a few times, and, you know, you always feel like, you know, if you're from a certain place, you always feel like they got your back. And in a sense, like, now, how can she feel like America has her back? Like, I would be feeling like, do I even want to go back to America if I've been gone over 130 days, and I feel like it's been zero effort.
I'm still shocked that we haven't heard more from the State Department.
Me too, that's my point.
And that we're not hearing this more often on the news, or Biden. I mean, this is a significant kind of name in American sports. I know when it first happened, you know, there was some concern, kind of like, could this resolve itself? Maybe being too vocal will actually cause more of a problem for her. But I think now we're recognizing that it's important for us to amplify our voices to make sure that people know about the situation.
As it's grown day by day, it's like I can't not say anything, and like I'm just trying to get more and more people's ears, people's eyes, and like as much support as possible.
They wish and they wish and they wish and they wish and they wish on me. I don't wanna die for them to miss me. Yes, I see the things that they wishing on me. Hope I got some brothers that outlive me. They gon' tell the story was different with me. God's plan, God's plan. I can't do this on my own, hey, nope, hey. I've been me since Scarlet Road, hey, God's plan, God's plan.
How much do you hate Manchester United?
Fucking hate them. Fuck them guys, bro. Fuck them guys, man. But he's cool, though.
He's cool.
He does cool things for the kids, but fuck you, lot.
How long have you hated Manchester United from?
You know what? It started, yeah.
When did it start?
I was at school, and like I think I must have been seven or eight, and I had a friend, ex-best friend, who was rolling. This is why, yeah. We was rolling with his Arsenal, yeah. We was rolling. And then the next day, he was like, I support Man United. I was like, Aj, you can't do that. And then I was like 6 or 7, I was like, I disagree, bro. Like, I disagree with you, like, as a person. I was like, it's Man United's the reason, so I said, fuck Man United from there.
Is there any clubs you hate, like, that you like actually don't like?
Yeah, Liverpool.
Hey, I knew you were gonna say that.
No, I don't like Liverpool. City. Obviously, Liverpool have history, so it's a bit more bitter. But with City, it's like you don't like them, but you don't really have like a massive reason not to like them. You just grow up and it's just two Manchester sides, one wears light blue, one wears red. But the rivalry with Liverpool is just...
It's deep.
Yeah, It feels much.
Marcus, you've been playing the club since how old? You've been at the academies. What year?
6.
Since 6 years old, you played for Manchester United.
Yeah.
That's wow. And since you were 6, you knew you wanted to play on the senior team for Man United, right?
Yeah. Like I was a United fan before started playing for United. So I remember when I was about 7 or 8, they started taking us to every home game. So you can imagine from that age till 18 till I made my debut, Like, I was at every single home game.
It's one thing to grow up seeing a club like Manchester United from the outside. How has your perspective at all changed, like playing? Is it everything you expected playing for the club?
Yeah, it's obviously a great feeling, but like Man United back in the days, they'd been successful for many years before, so success was like, when you get it once, you get a taste for it, and you learn how to make it a more of a sure thing. Whereas now, like, since I've come into the team, it's been a transition period for the club, so there's like, finding stability has been difficult. That's why we have so many ups and downs. But at the same time, it's a club that is rich in history, so you're just like steadily trying to get that feeling back. But it's not going to happen overnight. This is what.
What do you think the stability part changes? Do you think it's because like a lot of players go to different clubs and things of that nature, or is it like, you know, people from upstairs, or why has the stability
I think it's
changed?
It's a bit of everything, to be honest.
Most people say once Sir Alex left.
Yeah, a lot changed.
So they had a coach. He was there 25 or 30 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Once he left, United's
Oh, that's what stability is.
It changed, but the morals of, like, they've worked hard to keep the morals the same, and I don't think they'll ever go because of what he done for the club.
So what is that about? Is that a culture issue?
Absolutely.
So does culture so significantly impact how a team comes to success?
Definitely culture first, and then if you can blend that with the talent and the right pieces, it's the gateway to being successful for a long period of time. I could go back to when I was drafted at 18 and made my debut with Cleveland. You know, there wasn't any culture, you know, and that's no knock on anybody that was there or whatever the case may be, but there was no culture, and I felt like it was my job as an 18-year-old to try to build the culture, which is kind of unfair, but it is what it is, you know, to try to build the culture to make it seem like, or make it feel like it could be something special. But yeah, like you just said it, like the culture is the #1 thing.
Fair or not fair, do you love that pressure at this point in your career of like win or bust? I don't care about scoring title, I don't care about anything, it's win or bust. Do you like that pressure?
Yeah, I'm obsessed with it, with win or bust. And what makes me have sleepless nights is when you don't have everyone that feels the same way on your club.
That's the culture you were talking about.
Like, it's times where I wish I was like a tennis player or a golfer, where it was literally like, look in the mirror, motherfucker, it's you versus you.
Have you seen players like transition in terms of like not have that mindset, and then actually halfway through the season or halfway through the time that you've been there, grow that mindset of like win or bust, or
yeah, you can
think and you judge someone too early essentially, or something?
Well, you can have guys that come from different clubs and different teams, and they've played losing basketball for years. Like literally, I don't give a fuck who's on that club. You can have Jordan, you can have Shaq, Allen Iverson, and Jesus Christ could be their coach. They're gonna lose. They're gonna lose. It's like literally the culture. But you can get a player from a losing culture, and you can see literally in the first couple weeks if they really like want it or they don't. You can sense it.
That's also a great question for you because I read something where you've said you've read a script that wasn't great, but like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, because I know a lot of times I'm looking at, does the director know where it is? If the director feels confident about where it is, then I'm like, all right, cool, then I can run it. I don't understand what's happening.
You can run it like I can
do it because I feel confident that they know and they want to grow it, because it's not going to be perfect when you see it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, rarely you get a perfect script. The only time I've ever seen something and okay, that's perfect, it was Get Out.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's kind of perfect.
Yeah.
But people didn't understand what that was when you read it, because it was like the guy from Key and Peele, and it was Blumhouse. It wasn't what it would be now. I think it's more importantly knowing what you like.
No, well,
if I know what I like,
exactly.
if I know what I like and I like it, I can always stand by it.
You got it.
So if it doesn't, well, it's kind of like the football and team analogy is like, if you got a bad editor, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's that thing where like, all you can do is go, that's got the best chance to go to a certain place. I'm gonna go there and like, oh, this director chooses this cast and this kind of people. All right, cool, they've got good taste, and they're going there, and then you just hope for the best, essentially.
Honestly, as an artist, I think that's really all you have is your taste. and your sense of what's right and wrong, you know, and you have to just lean into it. And, you know, in the end, you're on an island, and you have to say, this makes sense for me, and I believe in it. And when you don't believe in it, honestly, it becomes really obvious, almost to everybody. And I think there's lots of actors that we look to and we say, oh yeah, they're good at this thing. And then there's Daniel Day-Lewis, right? Who we say, okay.
Obviously, he knows when he's done, the movie's wrapped. He knows when he's done, he's won a championship, hopefully. He knows when he's done, he's won a championship. How do you know when you're done?
It's really a great question. Honestly, not until they come and pick it up.
Does work ever leave the studio that you wish you had 5 more minutes with or another day?
Not necessarily that quickly, but I may look at something that you have or that LeBron has and say 5 years later, I think to myself, huh.
Rashid, you better not touch my shit. You come to my house.
Be in your house, guy. Hey, hey.
I come out the bathroom, he's up, Rashid, what the fuck you doing in my paint?
I'm happy with everything. I never let anything out of the studio that I didn't feel incredibly confident about when it left.
With the brush or with the paint where you go, it's done.
There's a point where when I'm finished.
You know it's done.
Where I'm comfortable with it leaving. You know, and there's no way, you know, the thing is, and I love sports. I'm a big sports guy, I always have been, and I love how defined it is.
There's a finality.
Because you win or you lose. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
One or the other. With art, oftentimes, I'm open to any number of ways of interpreting it.
Yes.
There are things you might hate about it that I'm happy to hear that you don't like about it because I don't like something about how you see the world. So I'm glad that you dislike this aspect of how I see the world, 100%. For instance. So there's this kind of push and pull of like what's good, what's bad, and how all of that functions.
So let me ask you another thing. Lots of white people globally are collecting black art. Do they actually need to understand blackness? Have you had to explain that ever to collectors or people buy, like they see the shea butter, the black, something like?
Yeah, I think in all honesty, it's not the responsibility of black folks to use their work as a teaching tool. You know, it's that sense of didactic, or employing your kind of cultural production as a way to engage, you know, a white audience is not particularly effective, because at that point, what you're doing is you're centralizing whiteness, right? Like that everything kind of lives outside of this kind of center subject, where we just keep throwing things into the white ether and saying, do you see us? Do you see us, right? And I don't think that is essentially what artists should be doing. I think that we should be making work as if we are in the center of our own conversations, right? We should be...
Put ourselves in the center.
Absolutely. And it's not about saying, oh, you know, our hair is different. Come look at how it's different than your hair. You're in the center. Come look. It's like, no, this is my hair.
Fuck you.
Right.
It is
Fuck
what
it.
it is.
Either
like
see it
we're
or
in the
not.
center.
Yeah.
We're in the center of this
Right.
conversation, right?
Yeah.
And so if for me as an artist, my whole production has been about kind of putting my narrative and my version of blackness, whatever that is, because blackness is not monolithic, right?
Like, look at this room.
brother's from England, this brother's from England. I mean, like, you guys are from Ohio. I'm from Chicago. Like, it's more complicated than some folks try to make it seem. Whereas, and we need the coalition build. We need to be together on a lot of things so that we can make positive change. But there's also, there's a beauty in the fact that our experiences aren't exactly the same.
I think we just got I think as a product of the internet, we've got to redefine what blackness means to all of us. Do you know what I'm saying? And understand it's a new thing. Not a new thing, it's just like, get away from the, like, kind of white-centric definition of it. Do you know what I'm saying? Which is like, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that.
Right.
And it's like a new thing. It's like, at the end of the day, if you're black and not born in Africa, you're a new thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? You're like, it's just a new race of people.
We're making this up as we go.
Yeah, we're all not born in Africa making it up. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, we are different, like, and it's like, if we realize that we have that in common, and we all have that in common because whoever it was, whether it's Belgian, whether it's English, whether it's like, went to Africa, did some fuckery.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So we kind of have it in that thing. We actually have a common through line between all of us. Do you know what I'm saying? And understanding that that is what joins us together, and then redefining it for us.
How's that factor in at all into, like, your work? Is the priority about blackness? Is it playing a different role? Your dialect? Just,
yeah, my thing
I've always
is
been intrigued by that.
I mean, I always want to, like, I care a lot about us being seen in a certain light. For me, it's like something comes my way, I'm always thinking about, I'll pull up to wherever that person's from and get to know them so I can feel the stakes. So when I was doing Judas, I went to Chicago. I just pulled up. And I was there, like, I was like there. I was where Chairman Fred used to speak. I used to be there, meeting people that are there, talking to them. And I understand what he means to them, the people that are from there. Went to Maywood, went to the area when the people that are from there. Then I go, okay, so I'm doing it for them. You just think of them, go, nah, that's the film for them.
How many takes for the speech?
I'm releasing this.
Yeah.
How many takes? Shit. I did that all day.
Really?
We did that all day. I was like,
wow, you did it all day.
I did it, yeah, I did. No rehearsal.
That's
Mad.
incredible.
It was mad. It was nuts.
That's...
But it was just like, that was a special day, man. That was a different...
Yeah, I mean, that shit came off so fucking
The way it is that you get to a point when you're tired and that, it was Cleveland. I was tired and that, and then they were lifting me up. Because basically it was like a scene partner, like the crowd was a scene partner. So then I was like, all right, cool, we're in dialogue. So then I had to get you in a certain place. So then I can hear it in a certain way and then you feel it in a certain way. So it was like I would keep going, I am revolution. I would just keep going until they felt.
Until they felt it. Yeah.
And then like, cool, then start the speech.
That's how a preacher preaches, to feel that.
And I guess
like, takes you on that roller coaster, take you up and down and get the crowd.
Yeah, but then his son was on set. His son was on set, so that was another thing that was quite... And he never met his dad, because obviously he got assassinated.
Did you feel that responsibility?
Oh, crazy responsibility. Crazy responsibility. Great. It was like, yeah, man, heavy. Very, 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 very heavy. But it kind of sharpens you up. I've never felt like that ever in my career. I knew that day I was like, I did something there.
Wow.
But I knew I did something there because something happened. It was like, he was in the room, it was like some other shit. It was like, I was like, something's happening here. When I watched the film, I don't remember the takes.
Wow.
I went into a place. It was like it's just an out-of-body experience.
In the sports
Yeah.
world,
You get that in sports?
I was about to say, we call that being in the zone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You wish you can tap into that shit more often. You just, when it happens, you have no idea what the fuck is going on.
And you find new stuff.
Yeah,
you start doing new shit.
You're just trying shit that you never even tried before.
Yeah.
Like fsilly shit. That game I had in Boston, game 6, down 3-2, it got to a point where I was just out there trying shit, one leg off the wrong foot, bump fades off my right shoulder. I'm not even a right shoulder bump fade guy.
When do you know you're in the zone while you're in it? Like, at what point?
I mean, I think I started the game like 8 for 8.
You don't know.
And every time I was shooting, it just felt so perfect, and it was barely touching the net, like going straight through like a bird, just go straight through the water.
Can you see the other teams start to get defeated? Like, damn, there's nothing we can do with these guys.
Yeah, because I feel like when someone's watching you, they know when you're, we call it lost in the game. When my brother's watching me play, he knows when I'm lost in, because he's watched me play all the time growing up. So like, I used to get lost in the game when I was a kid, but I would never, before I even knew what that saying was, I was doing it like it's a different kind of focus, and when you're doing it, you can't put a finger on it, but if I'm watching it, I can.
It's like one study that hasn't been tapped into. How can we tap in to the zone?
I don't know if you can.
You can't. I don't think it's the one thing that's never, you can't.
Yeah, I had one coach, and he used to say, put yourself in situations where you're not comfortable.
Oh
Play
yeah,
outside
that's my
of your
favorite
comfort
saying.
zone.
That's my favorite saying.
And how do you do that?
I just learned to play in different positions.
Oh.
Like I started playing in central midfield and just positions of the pitch that I didn't even necessarily like. Automatically, when you're in them places where it's not your speciality, you get locked. It's a different kind of focus because you know that you have to be locked in.
And when you're in that moment, can you see the defenders of the other team like, fuck, we can't fuck with this guy today?
It's like an atmosphere, like, it's just in the stadium.
Once you have that, like, are you constantly chasing it? Is it something
It's a drug.
you're striving for?
Definitely a drug. You wish the night never ends. When the game ends, I'm literally like sad. Like I want to go again. I could literally go again. I could play a whole game right after the game ends.
Them kind of moments change you. Like it's like the zone or the lost in the game. It's like that moment. It's like one of the big reasons why I'm so picky, because I'll have an amazing moment. Now it has to be that. I have to touch that. Like, and then I look at scripts and I'm like, I won't get there. I won't get there. Oh shit, I can't do those little jobs anymore. I can't do those itty bitty jobs because it's that now.
Yeah.
But it's not like, for me, it's now, it goes, the reasons I'm doing it. If I'm doing something for money, I'm never gonna get there. If it's just money, never. Ever touch it. Ever touch it.
I love that.
But then if it's like, I think because the story means something to me, or I can grow, or makes me uncomfortable, or I'm scared. If more time is I'm shook. Do you know what I'm saying? Then you're more likely to get into that zone.
Do you look for roles that you're scared, like, fuck, I don't know?
Always. That's part of it.
Yeah. What's your favorite place to play? Do you like playing at Old Trafford the best or on the road the best? And then on the road, which place do you hate going the most?
Like, I love playing at Old Trafford because it's Old Trafford. Like, it's got a special feeling, and not many stadiums can recreate that. But at the same time, the fans, our away fans are, like, sick. It's a special connection between, like, away travelling fans. Like, if someone's taking that amount of time out of the day or out of, 2 days to travel and wherever you go around the world to watch you play a game of 90 minutes football, it means a huge amount. So Liverpool is like both.
You love it and hate it.
Yeah, like...
It's rough.
Yeah, because...
Scousers are rough.
The fans can take the game away from you. Like, if you let them, they can take it away from you. Like, my first game at Anfield, I almost got sent off straight away.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't even, like...
What happened?
Just a bad tackle, like, but I'm not a malicious... Like, I'd never try and hurt someone on purpose. But, like, when you... I don't know. Like, the warm-up...
He gets excited thinking about it. You can see it, right?
Because it's just, like... It's that... Like what you're saying, like, you chase them types of... them feelings and them fears. And they build you up, like... That's
Is there, in basketball, are there fans that you go play away that they can literally take the game from you? You can feel like, damn, the fans is not gonna let us win this one tonight.
Yes, I mean...
What places?
Boston.
Boston, yeah.
Why do you hate Boston?
Because they racist as fuck. That's
they
why.
nasty.
They will say anything, and it's fine. I mean, fuck, it's my life. I mean, I've been dealing with it my whole life. I don't mind it. Like, I hear it. Like, if I hear somebody like close by, I check them real quick. I move on to the game, whatever the fuck. They're gonna say whatever the fuck they want to say. They might throw something on you. I mean, I got a beer thrown on me leaving the game. Like...
Boston is...
It's Boston.
It's the only place in the NBA in America you go and they have, like, shirts that say, like, fuck LeBron.
Yeah,
like,
it was like
section.
It was like a fuck LBJ t-shirt. I believe they probably sold it at the fucking team shop.
No, they sold it outside the arena.
No, they sold it at the team shop. I'm Celtics had something to do with that shit.
It's fun. I used to like read like football autobiographies for fun. Like, so I read Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He's at a team. One of the older guys come to him and he said something like, "Are you good?" He's like, "I don't know." He said, "When you're away, play away, do the fans boo you?" He's like, "Yeah, means you're good."
Good.
And that helps me when I get hate.
Yeah, for
it means you get a hate because it's really and truly if you ain't good, they ain't caring about it. They don't care. They don't care.
Do you feel that as a young player? Has it been a while adjusting to that a bit?
Not really, because like I said, I was so close to it, like I could see it happening. To like the first team players when I was watching them. So you set an expectation from yourself, like one day you're gonna be in a situation where your fans love you, but other people's fans don't like you. And if you're not in that situation, then you're probably not doing something that you should be doing.
It's a beautiful thing.
After the Euro, did that get overwhelming though? Because that was a bit different, right?
Yeah, it's a different...
Explain that.
They played in the final in the Euro.
Yeah, that was wild.
Against Italy. Tough game. It ended, was it 0-0 or
1-1?
1-1. Yeah. And it went then overtime, and then it went to PKs. And unfortunate for England, the last 3 guys were black, they missed.
Oh, yeah.
And they got hate. They got death threats from England. It got out of hand.
It got out of hand. It got real out of hand.
Like, there's certain elements of sport that you can speak about all day and you never come to, like, a bottom line, like, that's what should have happened, because it's a sport based on opinion, so, like, I've had hate for scoring before. Like, it might sound mad, but I have.
Do you think it ever got you close to where you felt like breaking? Like, fuck, this is too much?
Nah, because I'm, like, as a forward, you take risks all the time. Like,
yeah, that's your job.
If you're not taking risks, you're doing something wrong.
Do you think the hate would have been as insane if it was 3 white young kids that missed the penalty kick?
Honestly, no. Like, that's just the way I feel. I don't think it would have been the same, but at the same time, I don't think people would have, like, noticed, like... I feel like they just reacted to how they felt, like, and whether it's because it was 3 black guys or 3 white guys, that's how they felt. I remember when, like, Beckham was getting death threats and getting
He was
hate.
one of them, yeah.
So it's like, it happens, but they just want you to win, like. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but bro, it's toxic, my guy.
Yeah, it is toxic.
No, that's like.
Yeah, but
I feel for you, man. Like, it's
I felt for you too.
Because it's just sitting there, you're like, and that's why you get conflicted with supporting England. It just reminds you of being a kid in England. It reminds you all them times where you're out, everyone, and then someone says something. So you're black, or someone's parents said something. Like, usually what fucks you up is adults say something to you as a 4-year-old, as a 5-year-old. You know what I'm saying? And then it reminds you of that when you're trying to get closer to the identity of being English, and then that happens. Like, oh yeah, there's this gap. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, because, like you said, there's feelings, like people are pissed off and this is that and the other, but you instantly go there. So why'd you go there? That means it's just there waiting. It was just that kind of, it was a jolt of a reminder of like, oh yeah, this country. It's why I was never comfortable in a pub like that.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? As a kid or when I'm young, it's like why I can't go certain places. Like, it was that. What happened with you lot, that's what it was.
You still feel that way after even winning an Oscar? You don't feel that's put you in rare air, a different space? You still have that same...
bro. Nah, bro. Like, if I believed in that, that's when I'm in trouble, I feel. Because it's like, then you think that it's disappeared. You believe what this is going to exchange. Like, it's not nothing to do with what we've achieved.
Right.
It's like, there's nothing to do with, like, the reason why they're doing it is nothing to do because we've underachieved. It's like, the reason why I do it, because they've got something wrong with them. Police stopped me there. They don't know I got an Oscar. Unless I'm carrying it out the window or something. Like, you know, riding around like this, my guy. Like, so it's something wrong here. When you say, you know that saying, you got to be twice as good to get half as much or whatever. And I always didn't like that saying. Because I was just like, it's that thing that you said, it puts the white point of view in the center of your lifestyle. So I said, I just want to be twice as good because I want to be twice as good. That's what I want. I like that. Do you know what I'm saying? And I like excellence. I aspire for it, like going for it. It's not something that you're gifted. It's something that you have to work for, I feel. And so then I know that this Oscar, it's made the people feel a way coming from where I'm coming from. Rash, you know, like, do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't put my identity in any of these physical, material things. Like, do you know what I'm saying? I'm still, like...
Present.
I don't wanna die for them to miss me.
Pat Riley's whole thing, everywhere he's went,
They won.
either when he was playing in New York as a Knick, and we all know Knicks fans have been dying for a championship here.
Let's go.
You know, that's too much. That's too much. That's too much.
I feel good sometimes I don't. Like, no. I finesse down Western Road. Like, next. Might go down to G.O.D. Yeah, wait. I make sure that Northside eat.